Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, episode 53. We are your hosts. I'm Maz. We've got Ryan and Ben.
Hi there, chaps. Hi.
I haven't stopped smiling like this for however long it's been now. Like, oh my god, we are the best team in the world.
Is that because you got a girl's number or because
Oh god, I set myself up for it. Why did I do that?
Maz. Sorry,
You
Maz.
stole my joke. That was exactly the line I was going.
Damn it.
Yeah. Was it
was
because of the game, Ryan, or was it because of the cheeker at half time or full time?
HS Tiki Toki. But
yes.
Are you looking to hold this wood, gal?
God, what an embarrassing start to a podcast where we've actually we're third in the league and we're talking about HS Tiki Toki.
Oh yeah, that's a shame. Right. Yeah.
Shout out Chloe though.
Yeah.
What
a result.
She does have a name.
Let's just wait. No, let's get serious now because this is a big momentous moment. We are fourth in the Premier League. We
fourth now.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing. Yeah. Potter out. We were third.
Mate, little Brighton Hove Albion are fourth in the Premier League. How mental is that?
No, it's mad.
All because of a jammy Man United last-minute winner against West Ham. You know.
Yeah. Well,
they're the people we got to be looking at now, isn't it? Because they're the teams. Forget about Norwich down at the bottom.
I love it every single second of it.
We're looking at the results of Liverpool, City, Man United, Chelsea. Those are the teams we've got to be looking at now.
I agree, mate.
Unfortunately,
I agree.
Yeah.
Not
Jammy
Leicester.
United.
They're a thing of the past, mate. They won the league 5 years ago. It's our time now. Move over, you know what I mean?
Have fun in Europa League, lads. Yeah.
We'll see in the chat.
Right. So boys, obviously, we'll, as always, we'll kick off with the game. So, all in all, great performance. Of course, it was a bit of a, up to about 65th minute, 70th minute, we were all looking rosy. Life was good, 2-0 up, and then Leicester started to get back into it. They had a great goal they scored, and obviously 2 disallowed goals, which we'll get into, of course. But yeah, let's start with obviously the positives and everything that we did well. Set pieces again seem to be, we've talked about it a couple of weeks now. Set pieces are becoming more and more prominent. Ryan Trossard obviously on set pieces, and we talked about his market value, and a lot of people were quite interested in saying is he worth that kind of money that we were talking about? But seems like he provided
He's put in another good performance. Like yesterday, he was all over the place as well. It's not. We haven't just got Trossard who's on the left wing, doing a few skills here and there, can go in and out. Now he's coming right in deep and bringing the ball out, and using a bit of strength as well. He's got a bit of muscle to him and stuff. He's quite strong now, and he just takes players on. He's got so much more confidence. So. Yeah, no, it was really good to see Trossard performing more regularly because we all know he's capable of it, as we've always said. It's just you want to see it more regularly. But I think this season, again, he hasn't really had a bad game that I can think of, to be honest. He's been good. And yesterday it was, him and Cucurella were just levels, if I'm honest with you.
I think having the attacking fullbacks or the wing backs, I really think that helps Trossard take the pressure off him having to be that creative down the wings. So he can get in the centre and be more creative there because he's got Cucurella and Solly March again. I know he's playing on a weaker side, but I really liked him playing on the right wing back as well. That was good.
Solly's funny, and he's like I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. He just always puts in a consistent performance. He's always solid, isn't he? Yeah, he doesn't exactly go and take the limelight and anything like that, but you can't really say anything he's done wrong. He always just does the right thing. So I suppose. Yeah. He's always that solid 7, 8 out of 10.
He does the simple things. He does the simple things right, doesn't he? And that's what I think.
Definitely.
Every team needs a player like that. Back in the day, the Ferg era when he had John O'Shea and players like that that basically
James
just
Milner.
did the job. James Milner's a perfect example. He does I think that's a great comparison. He's Mr. Consistent. He's never the star man or he's never going to take players on in that sense or do anything special out of this world. But like you said, he does all the right things properly, and I think he's one of those players. I think Solly March goes the same for this. Obviously, maybe not on the same scale, but I feel like within the Brighton squad, I reckon they look at him as a person to sort of try and do the same things, replicate. Because he always works hard. He seems like he's a good example. He's not exactly like a party boy. He doesn't go out all the time and go a bit wild. He seems like a good example. If that makes sense. And a good model
professional seems like that.
Yeah, exactly that. And also, he came through the system. He came through the Brighton system, and I think Lewis, that might be for the younger lads. Yeah, from Lewis. So I think for the younger lads,
I was at the game when he scored that goal against Norwich. But do you guys go to that? Do you remember he scored against Norwich, and everyone was like, "Oh, he came out from our academy or something," and he banged it top bins from 25 yards out.
Oh god, yeah.
We've actually got a star.
Was that like a pre-season friendly?
Yeah, pre-season friendly. Yeah, against Norwich, and we thought Norwich were like a great team at the time. So, we got Premier League opposition, but yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah,
no,
definitely. I feel like that's definitely, and like I was saying as well, with regards to the younger players coming through, they obviously see that. Like, oh well, if he can do it, I know it's the same with like Dunkey, and like we've got loads of other examples as well. But if they see that, they're like, well, he's done it. We can also like sort of replicate that as well. And of course, we mentioned Cucurella, Spalding. Kick us off with Cucurella. Give us the love of
my darling. You and the headband. You are different gravy. He was unreal. That right at the beginning, he took on Ricardo Pereira. I don't know if he knocked it past him and just completely left him for dead. And Pereira was like, "Where's that bloke gone?" And he glides. He was like Damari Gray. Like he doesn't look like he's running. He glides up and down the wing, and his quality. Like he put in early balls into the box, exactly what we needed last year. Just a bit more intensity and directness. And and they were also pretty much like all like low crosses as well, because he knows that we haven't got tall strikers.
Yeah, he's actually intelligent.
He's intelligent enough to put it along the deck. Yeah. And he created a lot of chances from doing that. And what a home debut. And the fans, may I quickly add before I forget, me and my mates were saying, really predicted that it was going to be a pretty horrendous atmosphere, because like the London to Brighton bike ride affected travel, like especially the cars. Wasn't much parking available. The train Brighton Littlehampton are like screwed for 2 weeks.
Nightmare trying to get into the ground.
Horrendous as well.
Absolutely.
So we didn't think that many people were going to be there though. So we didn't think many people were going to be in the stadium, and it's a Sunday. But the atmosphere, I reckon that was one of the best atmospheres I've seen at the Amex for a long time.
Particularly the last 20 minutes was, it's electric.
Yeah. Electric, yeah.
I saw on Twitter someone said it was the best atmosphere. Obviously, I wasn't able to attend because I was up in Manchester, but it was. They said it was the best atmosphere since the 17-18 season. I saw someone tweet. So I don't know.
I think City was up there, if I'm honest. I think Man City at home. Like I know there was only 8,000, but that was unbelievable. Yeah, because it didn't stop the whole game, whereas Leicester started quite dull. And then it got into it a little bit, but the Man City one was just from start to finish. It was just electric, isn't it? But
Brian, that's the Dan Burn effect, mate. When he scores goals,
the crowd do you know what? Dan Burn got a really good standing ovation actually when he warmed up, so he definitely deserved that as well. I think.
And when he came on,
when he came on,
he was exactly what we needed at that point in the game. Like they were putting balls into the box.
He did really well.
Someone to hoof it, get the ball out, and he was quality. Really,
my dad said to me, "Oh, why are we bringing Burn on? He can never win headers." Then literally the cross comes in as he comes on, heads it clear, and then does it again. I was like, "Well, there you go. He can win headers, then can't he?"
It was a great substitution.
Yeah, it was actually.
And just quickly as well, going back to the Cucurella, I just want to say, and this is just from a personal standpoint, I want to make sure I get this out there on the pod. So during the transfer window, I don't know if you boys remember, and I hope you do, I said that Cucurella was a more important signing than having a striker, and you all laughed at me. All of you laughed at me. You were like, "Oh yeah."
You laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now, are you?
Yeah, exactly. As Nigel Farage would say, "You're not laughing now, are you?" Because Cucurella was arguably, he was the man of the match, and he's arguably like the catalyst for. The catalyst for the result. So I think it's obviously it's a game. Point. Let's not get carried away. Obviously, it's just one game, and hopefully he's consistent and carries it on. However, I think it proves what I was saying back then during the transfer window is how important it is to have a solid foundation to build up from. So obviously now I feel like our back five or back four, wherever we play, is so solid now. We've Duffy, Webster when he plays. Obviously. Obviously Veltman when he slots in, March even on that right wing back.
Imagine when we get Lamptey back as well. Imagine Lamptey, Cucurella on both wings. Jesus Christ.
The pace, mate. The pace. Oh my god.
It's going to be so sweaty.
Oh god. Yeah, you're right. But no, Cucurella, like you say, it's just one game. But and you can just tell someone's quality. You can tell they've got it about them. And like with him, it was just ooze class the whole way through the game. It's a bit like when you watch Adam Lallana and those sort of players. You can see they've got it about them. And Cucurella was just he's just different level to what we used to see. And
they linked up well though, Lallana, didn't they? Lallana Cucurella linked up really well down that left.
Yeah, Lallana's just good. Always again.
He was really good again.
He's really good again. He's really come into it because I was worried because 33 now I think he is. And you think, he could get some really horrible injuries because he's had a career full of injuries. But he stayed fit for the last
had a good run
pretty much 2 seasons, really. I mean, he only had couple of months, really, where he was a bit off it last year. But this season, he's been fine. He's played 90 minutes again. But props to Adam Lallana. What a player he is.
Yeah, quality player.
incredible when he plays. He's unbelievable. Going on to let's start from the first goal then. Obviously, the penalty incident. There was a lot of talk about whether Vestergaard was fouled in the build-up. Like, I was watching Sky Sports this morning, and they do the with Dermot Gallagher, they do the referee watch. Yeah, so it was quite interesting, to be fair, because I watched, obviously, I wasn't able to attend the game or whatever, but I watched like the full highlights and stuff, and I did see that incident, and I felt like it was a bit harsh. Like, if that happened to us, so if you actually watch it properly, Maupay does sort of grab Vestergaard slightly, like he does hook him round the arm. He does shithouse him, yeah. And then obviously that's when Vestergaard's arm is raised, and obviously then the ball hits it. So it was
almost putting his hand up to say he's got a foul, but then it hits his hand because
yeah. That's essentially what happened. Yeah. So it was a bit harsh in my personal. What do you boys obviously in the ground? Did you see it differently or?
At the time it's handball, isn't it? And that's literally all you think. Yeah. But then. Yeah, I think when I watched it back on Match of the Day this morning, it was probably a bit harsh. But I mean, they were really being so kind to Leicester on there. I thought they were really sucking up to him, and I was thinking because like
Gary Lineker, isn't it?
We've really rattled them because Gary Lineker's obviously the one that's in charge of it, and I saw his tweets as well saying that VAR's done them over, and then I think it was Sahil on Twitter tweeted me back, and it was like the most perfect ratio you'll ever see. It's the only time I'd love being ratioed, and. So I said things going our way feels nice, doesn't it? And then he just puts, if VAR didn't exist, the final score would have been 2-1 Leicester. Sorry, 2-1 to Brighton. And that's literally spot on. The referee, the lino put his flag up both times. So they can't even complain that it was VAR when the flag was already up. But he got 117 likes to my 68. I was like, oh my God,
Jesus.
Fair play.
And I saw like someone quote tweeted Gary Lineker when he was saying I love VAR about a previous match.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me in the stadium, it was more all the players literally ran straight to the referee and said handball. When you see all the players do it, you know that there's a chance that you got it. Like you said, Maz, because I was a Leicester fan, I feel really, really hard done by there. How did the referees, when they did watch it back, not see Maupay dragging him back? Like, they obviously just concentrate on the handball bit and not the bit leading us to it, which is poor. That's really poor officiating.
I think that's the key thing. It's like they're focusing so much on the actual handball, which it was. Obviously, it was a handball. However, the reason why his hand was so high was because Maupay was holding his other arm and basically keeping him down. So it was a bit of shithousery from Maupay. But fair play to Maupay. He I love it as well. And it was a great penalty. Fair play to him. It was a
really good pen. Very good. Do you know what actually I'll say about that? Because I think last year again he would have missed that. He definitely would have missed that. And I think Maupay this year,
great shot stopper as well.
Yeah, and I said at the time, I was like, he's going to save this because Schmeichel's record on the spot is very, very good. And you do worry because with that sort of atmosphere, it's a very tense. It's a big penalty to take.
In front
he took it really well. And that slide as well. You see his slide.
I was going to say, the knee slide was better than the finish.
Mate, that
knee slide was unbelievable.
Wasn't it like a little reversed?
Yeah. He just
spins,
and then he just stands. He just sits there like this, just staring at the stand. It just.
I actually love Maupay. He's the boy, mate. He's actually the boy.
What a boy.
He's the boy. So then, going into the second half, another set piece. Again, Leandro Trossard cross, and Welbeck.
Was it March or Trossard? Maybe it was. No, it was Trossard.
I think
Trossard.
I don't know now.
March was fouled. March was fouled.
March was fouled.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to know what I said? I'm not even actually joking. Genuinely, right? As that free kick happened, I was like, whip it in, Welbeck with a header. Swear down, that's actually what I said. And bang, I was like, he's actually done it.
I want proof. Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll get my dad on next week and he's going to come on and say, right, I can confirm this actually happened. Dad, back me up,
Again, mate, fair play to I've always been, as I say, probably every week, I've been, a critic of him in the past. I just feel like, is he past it? Does he have too many injuries? All these question marks that I think it's fair to bring up.
And now we can confirm he's better than Pele, so it's all
good. He's probably overtaken Pele in the all-time goals, isn't he? Just picked up.
Yeah, true. He's got his dog in the garden.
He only needs another 1,200, Ben, and then he'll be close. But no, it was a great goal, great cross, great header, and it was just an all-round top goal.
I missed the goal. I was still in all of my mates. We were still getting drinking and trying to finish him. We didn't realise that there was 5 minutes into the match. Don't know. God knows how we just lost track of time. Oh no, missed the goal.
This guy drinks so much beer, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw Ryan, I was like, here you go, Ryan, take that.
Yeah, literally the first thing I say to Ben, come up to him, he's like, here's a pint. It's alright. Cheers for that, mate.
Lads, listen, the beer is more important than the football, right?
Exactly.
Thanks.
Yeah, facts.
Making up for Brentford not being able to drink, that's for sure.
Yeah. So obviously we're 2-0 up. It looks like we're cruising, so to speak. But then Leicester, like the tide sort of turned, didn't it, a little bit? And mate, what a goal! That Leicester goal was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
that
just
was
one
so
touch
good.
football. They literally popped it. One touch football. I think it went from Tielemans to like basically 3 or 4 players were involved.
Yeah, Pereira,
one touch,
Tielemans,
touches,
and
then Tielemans crossed it in for Vardy, and it was a great goal. And
shame it didn't mean anything in the end. They won it.
Yeah, his 150th Leicester goal means absolutely jack shit.
Yeah, Vardy. Oh, do you know what?
Yeah, that is actually such a bad way to sort of go down on that, really, isn't it? Because
do you know what? I'm surprised that he didn't do. He didn't do the Seagulls celebration. You know, he always does like mad celebrations. And that.
But if he did that when they're losing, you'd just be like, mate, that is.
Yeah. If it was like the winner or something, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Mate, Mope managed to out Vardy yesterday. It was unreal.
Out Vardy. Don't even
That's
know
true.
Means, but okay.
Yeah.
You know, Vardy just sort of like loves to wind up, but Mope was just. I'd hate to play against Neil. I'd hate to play against Neil. Like if Neil was on the other team, he would just wind you up so much. Like you can just tell.
When it comes to shithouses, Mope is up there in the Premier League, 100%. He's like,
mate. I really hope he does that. I really hope he beat Man United at the Amex and he just goes Sue if he scores. It'd be so funny.
Well, I saw that bloke.
Someone else tweeted that, didn't they? Go, yeah, Vardy will do it if he scores against. Man United.
If it's not Vardy, it will definitely be Neil. Like, just needs to happen. I bet.
I feel like he definitely would do something like that as well.
Yes,
if we were winning at least.
Yeah,
100%.
Agreed.
And then of course, we touched on it very lightly earlier, but the disallowed goals, obviously that was massive. You know, VAR was a big part of the game. So let's talk about the first one. So Lookman. Was it Lookman who scored?
Man, he changed the game when he came on. He was unreal, wasn't he? He was really causing us problems.
He's a great player though. He's he's at Fulham last season, was it, on loan? And he had a really good season.
I remember he tore us apart a few years ago as well. He always seems to do us, doesn't he? I think he was at Charlton at the time when he was come through their academy.
Yeah, Charlton. Yeah, he's been at Charlton.
Good player. He caused us so many problems. He reminded me of he's got that 37. He looks a bit like Adama Traore, I thought. Like, he's coming down, such a small version of him. And I was like, he's like a little mini Traore. Got lots of pace.
Version of Traore.
Yeah, wearing the 37 on the shirt.
He's a tequila rosé size.
But no, he was causing problems, to be fair. But no, Leicester, I really thought they were going to come back, especially the time that Vardy scored that goal. It was like, I think 62 minutes or something. You think, it's a long half an hour.
It's a long way to go, yeah.
It's a long way, but we saw it out.
In terms of the decision, in terms of the actual VAR ruled off, I think that was definitely the correct decision, because he does impact the line of vision of Sanchez.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
See, I thought at the beginning, I thought the second one was more obvious than the first. I thought the first wasn't, but the second one was. But then I watch it back and I'm like, maybe the first wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It's a bit of a weird one. I think if I can't tell either way, then probably both of them are the right decision, I suppose.
Well, it was obviously... Well, the second one, I think the big thing for the second one was Harvey Barnes tries to put his head on it, but sort of misses. So he does actually go for it. But then at the same time, he doesn't really impact the vision of Sanchez, which is he does on the first one.
It's a weird one,
so I don't know. It's a tough one to really say. I think ultimately, I feel like VAR has got it right ultimately, because he was in he was blocking the vision of Sanchez on most parts. But
we can't lie. Like, we got a lot our way. So even the small fouls and stuff like that. Like, we were winning all the 50-50s, and the referee was favouring us a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna come on here and be completely delusional.
I think that's the home crowd, though. I think
you're probably right.
Having the fans back, like that handball as well. If the whole stadium hadn't shouted handball, and all the players on top of that, the fans help so much with stuff like that.
Yeah. No, and I think as well, I think we've deserved a bit of this luck, a little bit of this, because last season, it was probably one of the most unlucky seasons anyone's ever had, right? Now we're overperforming next year again. Probably up there, to be honest. We actually had a goal against us after the full-time whistle, so you can't get much more.
I've seen that before. Yeah,
never forgetting that. Never forgetting that.
Yeah, but no, we deserved. I think you make your own luck, don't you, in football? And I think we've now got to a point where we are starting to pay on these, expected goals of last season. This time we overperformed again. I think.
We exceeded it again, didn't we?
Which means that I think that's every single game now we've overperformed XG, which is insane. So. Maybe luck has turned. Maybe this year is our year. Who knows?
Oh yeah, I saw Mads. Was it you for Odds Bible that done the Premier League odds for Brighton?
Yeah, we did it today. Yeah, so we're
500 to 1 or something.
We're 500 to 1 to win the league, boys. That's not quite Leicester.
Getting 2016 flashback here to Leicester.
I mean, well, we're short. Leicester were 5,000 to 1, so we're 500 to 1.
Yeah. So they stopped at 5,000, didn't they?
That's because they're
not allowed to do it because they've run the bookies out.
Leicester.
That was literally because of Leicester. They've never done like those kind of odds before. Again, just because.
Didn't someone actually put the bet on as well? They put like a 10 on it.
I think he put a fiver on. Fiver on, I think. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
One of my dad's mates done it as well. He put it on because Leicester, like the last 5 games of the previous season before they won it, they were beating loads of teams. They went on a really good run, and he thought these lot look pretty good, and for some reason just put a bet on them to win it.
I mean, I don't think
mad.
I mean, I think it must have been like 10 people to call it in the whole country. But no, it was mad. Well, lads, you never know. I'm looking at Flash Score. Yeah, I'm looking at our sort of recent results, and it's looking like the worst pack of Starburst ever. However, in our favour, it's all greens, mate. So
that's good.
Worst pack of Starburst. That is the weirdest analogy I've ever heard, but I quite like
it. That's the best thing, mate. Who likes green in a Starburst? We're all about the Reds, but we're the opposite, boys. We've only had one loss. One loss against Everton. All the rest wins, mate. Burnley. Obviously Cardiff. I'm including Cardiff as well in there. Burnley, Watford, Cardiff, Brentford, and Leicester. I mean, look. Let's talk about this. Actually, this is one point I was going to bring up. I've seen a lot of haters online saying, "Oh well, you haven't played any of the traditional top 6. You know, let's play a good team until you can say about how good you are." Blah blah blah. Let's start with you, Ben. Do you agree with that testimony? Or, can you only beat what's in front of you?
Oh no, I'd agree. If before yesterday, I probably would have agreed that we haven't had a test, but you could definitely make a case saying that Leicester was a test, and I definitely made the point that playing them after their game against Napoli, but be against tired legs on a Sunday, might not be as up for it. I think we definitely got maybe a bit of a jaded Leicester, but we still beat Leicester nonetheless. Our first test looks, apart from Palace, which is a rivalry, and like Ron always says, a cup final. I think we got Arsenal, then Norwich, and then Man City. So Man City will be the proper first test because Arsenal are going down, aren't they? So they're a bit of relegation candidates. But I think you make a case saying that we haven't had a proper test yet. But I think Leicester's obviously the hardest one for so far.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, I think I'm using people's arguments against me when Arsenal at Southgate for England, saying I don't know if Southgate's the right answer. And obviously we did go on to the final in the end, but. People would always say you can only beat what's in front of you. You can only beat what's in front of you. So I'm going to use the same argument back and say, look, you can only beat what's in front of you. But at the same time, I get the argument to a degree. But then you look back on our previous years, particularly last season, we struggled against the lesser sides in the league. We lost to West Brom. We lost to these teams down at the bottom. But
Sheffield United, we struggled against.
Yeah, we struggled against Sheffield United as well. So we always struggled with teams below us, but we'd pick up points against Tottenham. We beat Liverpool. We beat the biggest club in the league in Leeds twice. So we'd always beat the better teams basically. And whenever we played someone,
Liverpool last year as well, 3 points of City.
Yeah, but then whenever we would play someone, more expansive, better than us, essentially, we'd do better. But then, now we're doing it sort of in the other way, and now people are like, oh well, you can't. So like people are always going to disagree with you no matter what. So we're just going to keep winning our games and proving everyone wrong. That suits me.
Look at the teams we have beat. Brentford just completely outplayed Wolves. Really decent 2-0 game. Brentford that beat Arsenal. Yeah, even though Arsenal's shite. Watford, who comfortably beat Aston Villa, beat them 2-0, and then they went on and beat Norwich 3-1 away, and we've got Norwich coming up. We've beaten teams that have played pretty well so far this season. Everton was obviously one where we didn't really turn up, and that was just we don't talk about that anymore. But
and weirdly, Everton since that game have I think they've lost 2 on the bounce now. I'm pretty sure, have they? They won one, lost one. Sorry, yeah. So
I was going to say, I knew they tore apart Burnley, wasn't it? They look really good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they beat Burnley.
Damari Gray's been unreal.
But no, so I mean, look, I agree with you both. I think basically, we've. I wouldn't say like on paper you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, you should be beating Burnley, you should be beating Watford, you should be beating Brentford, of course, like on paper. But in reality, Brentford, like we just said, Brentford a decent side. Watford can play on their day. All these teams aren't terrible, and I think Leicester. I think they've overtaken Arsenal now in the traditional top 6 for me. Anyway, I feel like they're definitely a top 6 side.
Yeah.
With the quality they've got,
true.
and to beat
top
to
6,
beat them,
not big 6, I suppose.
No, yeah, top 6. Not big 6. But like, I feel like again, we did like we talked about. We had a lot of luck on our side, and the VAR definitely helped us. However, to still go away with a win, I think that's massive. And yeah, we go into the Palace game full of confidence, but that's always a tough game, isn't it? And we'll go on to that as well.
Shall we quickly do the next 3 fixtures then? How many points do we think we all get? So we've got Palace at home, Palace away next. Then we got Arsenal at home, and then Norwich away.
Yeah.
One of you
go on, Ryan, kick us off, mate.
I mean, why shouldn't we be looking at 9? I'm sorry, but I don't want to be Mr. Over Positive, but why not? Because I mean, we've just beaten Leicester, for God's sake. Why can't we be positive about it? I mean, we've got Palace in the next game. Obviously, we've got Swansea in between as well. I mean, Swansea, you'd expect us to probably win that anyway. But Palace, okay, it's a cup final, as I say always. So maybe that one goes either way. It's going to be the highest quality game between us and Palace ever, in my opinion. I think we've got 2 of the best sides we've ever had. So that's going to be a real tough one. I've got to be honest. Taking all of the positivity away, you've got to be honest. Palace are a good side. They've made some good signings. It depends on how Vieira turns up, but obviously they are capable of it. They beat Tottenham 3-0. So it's going to be, a bit of a test. And as always against Palace, it's always, it doesn't. We could win 7 games in a row and then play Palace and still could potentially lose. Yeah. So, and then obviously we got Arsenal after that, who haven't been great. I'd fancy us. They've got Ben White at the back. It would be quite interesting to see him back at the Amex.
Shaky Ben White.
I mean, I've never wanted Ben White to play so badly in my life. Oh, could you imagine? Yeah, but no, I think he'll get a good reception, and deservedly so. I'll applaud him onto the pitch. But no, I'll be excited if we get a win out of Palace. I think there's no reason why you can't look at Arsenal and win, and Norwich as well. Norwich are rubbish, to be honest. So we should be beating Norwich. They are quite literally pointless. They haven't got a point this season, and they are literally irrelevant. So they're pointless.
That's the thing. To answer your question, Ben, I think for me, looking straight away at those 3 fixtures, obviously Norwich for me is a given. I don't want to be don't want to jinx it, but yeah, 3 points definitely from Norwich.
Should be beating teams like Norwich.
If I had to give you a prediction, so out of 9 points, I'll go. I think 5. I think if we get draws out of Arsenal and Palace, I'll be happy with that. Obviously, I would love 3 points against Palace. It goes without saying for any Brighton fan. However, a draw, I wouldn't be too disheartened.
A draw is likely in Palace, I agree.
Yeah, like Ryan said, they've actually assembled a very good side. I still don't really rate Vieira. I still think he's got a lot to prove, especially with his past managerial positions he's had out in America. Didn't really do much. At Nice, I think he finished one season 7th, I think, and then he basically bombed the next season after that. So he wasn't. Yeah, he hasn't really proven much for me. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I think 5 points I'll be happy with, and I think that's realistic. I'll
say 5 as well. I would love to beat Palace, especially after that tweet. But we'll get onto that in the actual proper review. If we beat Palace, it'll be unbelievable. But I feel like that will be a draw. Arsenal, I think I've got to give them credit away at Burnley. They beat them 1-0. They done a Burnley against Burnley, you could say. Takes a lot to beat Burnley away. So I think
we scored 2 at Burnley away. Therefore, we're better, right?
Yeah, we are. But I think it'll probably be a draw. Norwich, you'll be looking at the guaranteed 3 points. Not guaranteed, but most likely one to give us 3 points.
The thing is with Arsenal as well, going into what we play them second, so as in we've got Palace first, then Arsenal. And I think by that point they could potentially be on a run of what? So they won 2 on the bounce now. They could potentially be on what, 3 wins on the bounce, and they'll go into that game much more confident. They've started the season terribly, but they're now starting to turn. I know they've only played against Burnley, and who's the other one they beat? Someone crap.
Norwich.
Norwich.
Norwich. Yeah.
They've beaten Burnley and Norwich, and yet people say about with 1-0, and yet people say, "Oh, Brighton haven't played anyone good enough," and they lost to Brentford.
And they lost. They've had a very easy start.
I'm not being funny, right? We should be beating teams like Arsenal. We should. We should be beating teams like Arsenal. I don't want to hear anything because. What are Arsenal nowadays, right? I'm going to go back to the Troops thing when 2017-18, right? When he was like, oh, no disrespect to Brighton, but who are Brighton blood? And it's just like, we didn't even have a ground like 10 years ago. Well, we do now. We're in the Premier League. We've beaten you 4 times. You've beaten us like once or twice.
Yeah, we've got a great record against Arsenal.
We've got a great record against Arsenal. At the Amex as well. We've had a good atmosphere there for a good few games now. You'd fancy us, it plays into our favour. Ben White as well, we know how to target him. We know his weaknesses. So I think, why not?
Do you know what, Ryan? I'm going to say 7 points, mate. 7 points. Arsenal, we're going to get a win. Norwich, we're going to get a win. And Palace draw. Come on, the boys. Seagulls.
I'm still going 9 because we're going to beat Palace as well. So
if we get 9, wow.
If we get 9, I'll do something mad. I don't know what though.
I'll move mad.
I don't know what, but I'll do something nutty.
I'll do something. I just don't know what it is yet.
All right, boys. Well, yeah, I think that's Also, anyone listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments. Yeah, let us know in the comments how many points do you reckon we'll get from the next Premier League.
If we get 9, I'll let Ben pierce my ear.
We said
Why?
that.
Pierce your nose.
Did I say? Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah, no, not nose. I'm not doing my nose. I don't mind doing my ear, not my nose.
I said yesterday, if we go 3-0 up against Leicester, I'll streak on the pitch. And it was so close to 3. That's how little hope I had in that. It was so close to 3.
That's a close call, Ben. Right, close. Going on to also midweek, we got a cover, of course. It was a statement by, I think it was during his interview with Glenn Murray. Yves Bissouma did an interview for BBC Sport with Glenn Murray.
Talk facts.
And I mean, look, we'll give the people the quote. So for the people that haven't seen it and have been living under a rock, he did say that he claims that he's very confident. I think he got basically taken out of context a little bit, didn't it? But he said, for me, I am the best midfielder in the Premier League. Now, I think he carried on saying as well, like, as a confidence thing, and he said it was about like his own personal belief to get the best out of himself. So I don't think he was actually technically saying, I am the best midfielder in the Premier League in the sense of...
But if he did, he also wouldn't be wrong. So
so the full quote was, I don't want to be arrogant, ... The Premier League has too many good midfielders, but for me, it's me. And it's Yves Bissouma.
Love it. I love that.
But then apparently he did carry on because we got called out because I posted it on Odds Bible and we got called out going, show the full quote. And I was like, well, he did actually. The quote we posted is the quote. But he did carry on. Like I think he basically went on to explain himself a bit more, and he's a bit like, look, I don't want to be arrogant, but I feel like to give myself the best self belief. I am the best midfielder in the Premier League.
But what's the point in thinking? What's the point in thinking? Oh yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, of course not, mate. I fully rate it. I fully rate it. I'm fully behind it. I'm like, well, fair play to you. Like, that's the kind of elite mentality we need at the club. Like, you want all of our players to believe that, even if they're not.
I think Seagulls Social could be decent, or I think Seagulls Social could be the best. Oh, well, that sounds better, doesn't it?
Well, yeah,
you know what I
mean? Exactly. Yeah, no, 100%. And I fully back him, mate. I'm like, I'd say Kante, Fabinho are the top tier in the Premier League when it comes to DMs. Because I think a lot of people say, oh, well, we're going to talk about centre midfielders, De Bruyne. I'm like, well, no, they're completely different players. They don't do the same job. He's much more of a defensive-minded
I would argue, just because of style, I would argue that I'd have Bissouma over Fabinho. That's just that's just personal style.
Oh my god!
I can't be endorsing that.
And where's Fernandinho? Where's Fernandinho? Where you put Fernandinho?
I mean, he's definitely up there. Yeah. He's definitely up there, but I feel like
if I had to pick a team, I would have Bissouma over Fabinho.
That's a big claim, that one.
This needs to be clipped, I think, because that is probably one of the most bold things that's ever come out of your mouth.
Yeah. This will be
that is genuinely one of the most bold things that's come out of your mouth. And you shouted, I love you, Leo, in front of everyone at the Amex. And you also tried to start a chant, which no one followed onto, and yet still finished it. But that is somehow worse than both of those things.
Yeah, that is funny. Right, well,
you did it yesterday as well. Don't lie. Do you remember?
No, I did do it yesterday.
I did. So let's do a quick. Let's do a quick one then. Let's do a quick game, so to speak. I'll kick us off. So let's do the top 5 defensive midfielders in the Premier League, and I'm going to include Bissouma in my list. So I'll kick us off. I'll do it in order as well. So I'll go Kante number 1, Fabinho number 2. Then I'd say, I really like Ndidi, so I'd have to go Ndidi 3rd, and then I'd go Bissouma 4th, and then I actually don't know who the 5th sort of DM I would have, unless I'm missing out someone really completely.
Fernandinho, could you say?
I mean, yeah.
Declan
Rice. KP, Calvin Phillips.
Phillips over.
Calvin Phillips. We'll go so that's my top 5. So
Stinky.
Kante first. Bissouma second. Go on, Biss. Fabinho. Ndidi. And then Fernandinho.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
I'm going to say Yves Bissouma top. Then N'Golo Kante.
You're just trolling us at this point.
No, do you know what? All right, okay. Kante top.
You know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what, right? Let's have it right. Kante top, Fabinho, then Bissouma, and then Ndidi, and then probably Rice at the bottom.
Okay.
Oh my God, West Ham fans are going to hate me for saying that because they think Declan Rice is like the best thing since India.
No, they will like you because you're the only one to include him in your top 5.
I love Rice. I do like him a lot.
I'm gonna have all the Leeds fans loving me because I put a KP in the top 5. But no,
Two of the craziest fan base in the league.
I think we can all agree. I think we can all agree that Kante and Fabinho are like the top 2, and then I suppose it's a bit of a free for like you could argue a case for any of the players we mentioned.
That's the thing. Like they're all so different. Like Declan Rice is way different to Bissouma. The quality of Bissouma to the quality of Rice is just different. And Fabinho is like a big unit. Yeah, Phillips is different again. Yeah, Kante is just everything you'd want in a midfielder.
Oh yeah, he's the pinnacle. He's the pinnacle.
And then
DM.
Yeah, I think the trouble is like that top 5. I would have them in different teams. So like I could pick someone over someone based on the opposition or based on it's weird. You like all of those players.
And also as well, I think this is a key point as well. Each player plays well in a different system.
Tielemans as well.
I'd say he's a bit more attacking. I'd say he's much more attacking Tielemans than a DM. But I feel like they're all system players, so they all play well in their respective system. So you look at Bissouma, plays well in our system. KP plays well in Leeds' system. Like they all play well in their respective
I'd say
systems.
Kante and Bissouma aren't really defensive mids then, because I'd say they're more like number 8s. And then you've got, Bissouma and Kante definitely number 8s. And then you'd have like, on a scale of number 8 is him, and then probably even Declan Rice, to be honest, because he's really come into it now. He's more of a number 8. He started off at centre back, and now he's like, he even said that he may even want to start playing number 10. Did he? So funny, yeah. Mad. But yeah, like I don't know, because midfielders are so subjective, aren't they? It sort of works differently.
We can all agree that Bissouma is the best.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to put Bissouma above Ndidi in mine. So Bissouma goes 3rd, and then Ndidi 4th.
Right.
But yeah, there we go, boys. Let's get on to the reviews.
So let's do
Swansea,
quick Swansea, because it's only the League Cup.
Yeah, it's only the League Cup.
Plastic
We're
Cup.
going to win. There you go. That's the end of that review. I'm joking. No, go on, Ryan. Kick us off, mate.
On to the Swansea review.
Me and Ben are going together, aren't we, Ben?
Yeah, mate. Got to wear a bloody shirt.
We're going to be really posh. We're going in the 1901, so that's going to be good fun.
Oh, lovely.
But yeah, no, I think... I don't know, to be honest. I don't really know much about Swansea, if I'm honest with you. 3-0 win.
I know the manager's Russell Martin, isn't it? Who some people think is the next... He's going to be the future Brighton manager. Some people are saying that he will be, just because of the way he plays.
Brightonian and... Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I'm happy with Potter right now. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I don't know. Swansea... I don't know, yeah.
They're on a run of 1 loss and 3 draws at the moment. So their last game, they drew 3-3 against Luton. They were 3-0 down.
They were 3-0 down.
They were 3-0 down. And do you know what? They got Olivier Ncham as well. You know, the ex-Celtic player.
Oh yeah,
Olivier Ncham.
I thought he went on. On loan from Lyon? Because I swear he signed for Lyon, didn't he? Permanently.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they got him.
I still think we'll beat him.
Obafemi up front as well. You know, Obafemi for ex-Southampton.
They were in the playoffs. Got to the playoffs last year. I remember the players that I liked were. Who's the captain? Not like
Matt Grimes.
Matt Grimes, yeah, I really like Grimes, like a decent player.
He's gone now, though.
No,
he signed for.
No, I think he's still there. You know. He's still there. Still there.
Really?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Centre mid. Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
But just on Swansea as well. Talking about their recent results, they've not been good, and they're currently 21st. So they're just a position above the relegation zone. There's 7 points from 8 games. So they go into it with really poor form. But anything can happen. It's a cup game. Anything can happen. And let's be real, he's probably going to rest a lot of players because we've got Palace coming up. Yeah. So we're probably going to feel.
I've heard Tariq Lamptey's going to be starting.
That's good,
isn't it? Yeah,
that'd be good.
That'd be nice to see him back.
Yeah, but I think let's do a quick prediction. I personally think it should be hopefully a straightforward win. But I'm going to go maybe like 1 or 2-0. I reckon for that game.
Probably won't blow them away. I'd love to blow them away, but I don't think we will. It'd be nice to just go win like 3 or 4-0, wouldn't it? Just really show like we're the Premier League team. But Maybe we will. I don't think we will.
I think it'll be a tough game. You know, I think it'll be tough.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the. I'm looking forward to seeing some youngsters like Moran again potentially. I wouldn't mind seeing Ferguson play up front. That would be pretty cool. So see some of the youngsters play.
See if some of the young bloods coming through. That'd be nice.
How's that? A lot of the fringe players. It'd be good to see them playing to give them a run out.
No,
because again, the cup doesn't really matter. You got to beat Man City to win the League Cup, and I don't think we'll be doing that.
They're always in the final somehow.
I mean, we have beaten them in the Premier League, so there's no reason.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. Right, boys. Just quickly, whilst we're on the whole review thing, I think me and Ben predicted it correctly last week, didn't we?
Oh,
2-1?
no, you and Ryan.
Oh, me and Ryan.
I said 1-0, yeah. I played.
Me and Ryan, obviously.
We should have started a league table at the beginning of the season, but I think we're probably on I think we're all probably on 1 now. I got it right last week.
Probably. Oh, there you go. Right, and then so big game, the big preview. Palace, of course, always a massive game.
Scum.
And Ben, let's kick off with you, mate, because you, off our Seagulls Social account on Twitter, stoked the flames of the whole rivalry.
What did you do?
He posted.
What do you mean? What did I do?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
For anyone who didn't see it. Yeah, anyone who didn't see it, Ben basically posted a picture of Cucurella holding basically holding 3 for his shirt number, obviously. And then Ben captioned it with, how many points are we going to pick up against Palace when we play them? And I mean, it went down really well with the Palace fans, safe to say. They were best
it worked beautifully. It worked so well. So many players like, why the fuck would you do this, Ben? But some people were saying, love this. Like, loads of people did like it, but yeah.
I was that person, Ben. I
was on this side of, I don't know what you're doing right now. Why did you tweet that?
You've jinxed
the video I quote tweeted it with a guy putting the chips in the pan and it exploding. That was exactly what I was doing.
Oh yeah, Ben. How did you find that, by the way? That video.
I think I found it on YouTube. Found it on YouTube with no help from anyone else. Anyway,
what a shambles.
On to the Palace review.
That was an inside joke, but yeah. Right, listen. Palace review. Right, Benjamin, kick us off, mate. Ryan, right? Sorry, Ryan, you dipped out there. Now I got a bit confused. Ben, kick us off, mate. Yeah. Palace review.
Well, it's so hard to call, and again, I'm going to use it. Ryan always says it's a cup final when it's a rivalry like this, and it really is. Monday night couldn't be any more intense. The new manager we're facing at Selhurst. It was going to be a feisty one. I really think our players are going to be bang up for it, well in confidence. But
there's one person that will be, and that's Neil Mopey. He's going to be fired up. He's going to be fired up. Come on, Neil. If you're listening to this somehow, mate, just rattle them. Just rattle them. Yeah, just rattle them, mate. Just literally
do a big poo out at the side of the change room. Yeah, do a dust foyer.
Hopefully you can rattle the. Who's it? Gay. It's going to be their centre backs first. Taste of the rivalry. I'm trying to remember. Oh, and Anderson.
What did you call him?
Is he called Gay? Gay?
Isn't it Gay? Guahy?
Okay. Yeah, Guay.
You are gay.
I'm thinking I'm going to be Mr. Ghana Gay. He's not Ghana Gay. It's just yeah. And him and Anderson. A lot of the players actually. It's going to be their first rivalries, isn't it?
He was really good for Fulham, wasn't he, last season? Anderson at centre half.
I am confident, but it's going to be really tough and very intense. Yeah. I'm buzzing for it.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I am worried. I feel like Zaha always turns up against us. Like, he just always seems to do something. Even if it might not even be like an assist, it might even just be a pre-assist. Like, he's involved heavily in the build-up, or he does something, and he's always just there. And he really angers me because he's good, and it pains me to say that about a Palace player. He is obviously a very, very good player.
Pass the pass, though. That's the thing. Like, I look at the Leicester game. I said before. I said we're going to win 2-1 because I said it's the past. I said it doesn't matter that we've got a 7-year curse. It's now. We're performing better than we ever have done in the Premier League in our history. Why can't we go beat Crystal Palace on Monday night? I mean, I don't care that this is going to be clipped because, like, let's face it, right? If I said we're going to win, then if we win, it's going to be clipped. If I say we lose, it's going to be clipped. So who cares? So I don't know. I think we've got to have confidence. Like, what's the point in going into this thinking, oh, we could lose to Palace when... I don't know. On the day, I'm going to be nervous as it comes, and I'm going. I think Ben, you're going as well. So yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Go, I haven't got a ticket yet. If I can get a ticket, I'll 100% go. But
try and get one.
There's some disabled tickets left, and we were like, "How?"
What are you trying to say?
Surely they should just open up. No, surely. Surely they should just open up for like normal release, like if they're not being used, because there are so many fans that want to go.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But
no,
I'm
trying to hint something at me, Ben.
No, you make a good point there, Ryan. Like, we are playing the best we have in the top flight, and the results don't lie. And we've got our team is looking red hot. Mark Cucurella on the wing backs. I'd be surprised if Lamptey starts.
Veltman as well.
Veltman might be right centre back if Webster's not back. Our defence looks tasty, and I feel like we could do a good job.
Also, a little stat for you as well. This season, we've won every away game we've had. Three on the bounce. Burnley away, Cardiff away, and Brentford away.
Well, that's not changing. I know I said that one's not changing.
Love it.
Brilliant. Right, predictions then, boys. Ryan, kick us off, mate.
Okay. What, for Palace, yeah?
Palace, yeah.
It's the worst one to call, innit? It really is. It really, 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 really could go either way, if I'm honest. So let's say it's going to be a goal in it, I reckon. So I'll say 2-1 again, because I think whoever scores first is going to have the edge, basically. And whoever breaks that deadlock I think that's who take it. But I don't know. I'm going to be scared. I think both teams will score. So I'm going to say 2-1 Brighton, yeah. Because I think both teams will score and it'll be anxious time again. But yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping we win.
I don't know. It's a really tough one to call. I feel like if we score early, it's going to be kind of like a curse against us, and then Palace might come into the game and really kick them into gear in front of the Palace fans. It'd be tough. Before you started speaking, Ryan, I was saying 2-0 Brighton. I'm just going to stick with it, and if it gets clipped, fuck it. But yeah, 2-0 Brighton.
2-0 Brighton. Right, boys, I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going with 1-1. 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw. You can't go wrong. You can't lose in that situation.
Maz doesn't want the smoke.
Yeah, I don't want the smoke. I genuinely think 1-0. I think they are playing quite well. They've got a good team. We are away as well. You know, it's never a good, easy place to go. Especially if the fans are, if the fans are on it, they are one of the best fan bases. Again, just to be real, when it comes to at home to support their team, they have got a very good fan base and they do make a lot of noise there. So whether that have an impact, I don't know. Obviously, it matters what goes on the pitch. But yeah, I'm going to go safe, go 1-1. But of course, if we win.
I really hope our players are bang up for it. I really hope our players are bang up for it and not maybe scared about the prospect of playing there on a Monday night. I just really hope we bang up for it. And
I feel like
some of them have got good memories, and especially Biss. He loved playing at Selhurst when we beat him 2-1 previously. So
yeah. I'm just terrified of 75 minutes onwards. Like, that's the worst time in a game. It's horrible. I just hate it. Unless we're really comfortable. Say we've scored 2 or 3 goals, but the chances are we probably wouldn't have done. And those last 15, it's just painful, isn't it? Like, you're just counting down the clock. It just feels like an age, doesn't it? And you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. That's how it felt against Leicester. The more it went on, you're thinking, it's just, you think, why are you doing this to yourself? You're sitting there quite literally making your blood pressure go through the roof. Your heart rate's going like this. You're feeling like, oh my God, like, why do we do it to ourselves? Why would you be a football fan? Yeah. But then that final whistle, when everyone celebrated, it's just, that's why it's worth it, But it's going to be.
I made myself laugh. My friend, after the Brentford game, she was like, oh, how was the match? I was like, we won. She was like, oh, so you have really, so that's going to make you happy for like the rest of the week. And I was like, yeah, until the next game. She's like, oh, right.
Yeah, exactly.
It only lasts a certain amount of time.
Until the night before the next game, when you're thinking, oh, God, we could lose this one. And that's when you sort of
a few days to celebrate and then focusing straight on the next match. Pretty much.
Sound like footballers, don't we now?
Up the Albion, we're going to win. Come on.
Well, boys, listen, another great pod. I feel like recently our podcast, without blowing our own trumpets, have been great to watch and listen to, hopefully. And of course, if you agree,
good to see the feedback as well.
People have been loving it, especially last week. The comments were really positive. So listen, as per every week, what should we have in the comments down below for everyone who's made it this far? If you're watching on YouTube,
that's a good one. What's a good joke?
His hair's fucking massive, just something like that.
Yeah, Cucurella.
Jack Albion's the goat, mate.
Do that. Jack Albion
is the goat, mate. We need to show you the video. I need to. That boy is the best person I've ever spoken to in my life. He's so funny.
Who is he?
Hang on. I met him after the game.
It's Zagiri on Twitter. You know this guy? He's a great lad.
What is that on his head?
He's got the Pascal Gross hat. He's got the Pascal Gross hat.
Listen to this.
3 points and 2 goals, right? How many goals disallowed though, Jack?
6.
How many goals disallowed though, Jack? 6. I don't remember.
I don't have a clue who this guy is, but yeah.
We need to get him on. He's a cult hero.
We need to get Jack on. He is a legend.
He's a cult hero. What we're putting in the comments down below? What's the thing?
What did I say?
You said something about Jack.
Jack Albion is the GOAT, mate, because you know Mopey, Murray.
Jack Albion is the GOAT, mate. There you go. Put that down in the comments below. If you made it this far, please put it down below in the YouTube comments. And of course, as per every week, please do comment, like, and subscribe. It does mean a lot to us, and we really appreciate it. And if you're listening on Apple and Spotify and all that jazz, keep streaming it, keep listening. And again, we really appreciate all the support, and we love you all equally.
Can I do my click? I want to do it. I'm just waiting.
Peace.
Bye.